So South Park meets Superbad meets 8th grade. That's a recipe for success and great comedy, right? Man, I hope so. Good Boys is a new coming-of-age comedy from the producers of Superbad, in which 3 tweens named Max, Lucas, and Thor, no, not that Thor, get invited to a kissing party, and along the way, they're a little oblivious to what goes on in the real world. They kind of have their own interpretations as to what happens and stuff, so when they get entangled with these other 2 girls and these maybe drugs, and they're trying to get to the party and learn more about themselves and the world that they live in, things start to get a little out of control, and we have a movie. Good Boys is a movie that when I saw the trailers, I was like, this is a movie that's going to ruin everything, all the funny parts that are in the movie. And for the most part, yeah, I mean, I didn't really laugh at those parts because I laughed at those parts in the trailer. There were still some funny parts, like that scene where they cross the highway. That scene is still freaking hilarious. Because they show you them crossing the highway, but there's more to that scene, and what happened in that scene was funny. It's basically what they show you in the trailer is all the funny stuff, but then all that funny stuff is actually extended in the movie. So all those scenes that you see in the trailer that are funny, they're actually extended scenes in the movie. There's more to those scenes, and those scenes are actually really funny. And it wasn't just the funny stuff that they showed in the trailers. There's actually some stuff that they left out of the trailers that I thought was really funny too. The main cast, the trio that plays Max, Lucas, and Thor, again, not that Thor. They all did really well. They all delivered their lines really well. Jacob Tremblay, he's obviously a great actor. I think this is really him stepping out of his comfort zone. I've never really seen the other 2 in anything. I don't think I've ever seen the other 2 in anything. But they do a really good job. They deliver their lines really well. I mean, they might deliver one line poorly, but that's really it. And I just love the fact that these guys are stepping, as characters and as actors, are stepping out of their comfort zones. Like, they have their own interpretations as to what this stuff is. Like, all you have to do to learn about kissing is Google porn. And they Google porn, and then it's like, oh, like, that's not how you kiss and all that. Like, that was totally not kissing. Like, I just love, like, the stuff like that is hilarious. Like, they're completely oblivious that drugs have names. Like, in the trailer where they're like, where the girls are like, give us back the Molly, and they're like, who's Molly? Like, they're so oblivious to the fact that drugs have names. All you gotta do is watch Pineapple Express. That's how I learned that drugs have names. Just saying. If you like your comedies raunchy, if you like funny comedies, this is definitely the movie for you. Again, this is like 8th grade meets Superbad meets South Park. All 3 of those combined, it's pure hilarity. An issue I have with this movie, though, is that nothing was ever gut-busting funny. There wasn't anything like the end credit scenes of Deadpool 2 that had me rolling in my chair, possibly on the floor, choking on my own laughter. There's nothing like that in this movie. I feel like the trailers kind of showed us what's coming with the laughter and the comedies, so it's like I already knew like what was funny going in, and seeing it again, it was just like, yeah, kind of a chuckle. Again, it's when those scenes played out further is when I laughed even more. I'm glad that they left some of that out of the trailer. Also, the pacing for this movie feels a bit off. There's a lot of great jokes in the beginning, then the middle kind of settles down a little bit on the raunchiness and the jokes, and then the end kind of gets a little sentimental and the jokes start to come back. It's not only that that second act is missing a lot of jokes, it's also just that the movie jumps from situation to situation so quickly that I feel like it becomes a little bit jumbled. For a 90-minute comedy, it becomes lost in what it's trying to do. There's so many different subplots in this movie, and it can't really juggle all those subplots together cohesively. And because of that, I feel as if the pacing just kind of tanks a little bit towards the second and third act. Another issue I have with this movie is that I feel like it's just kind of a cliched movie. Like, you get it, where there's this group of friends that are going on this adventure. They're going to do all this crazy, wild shit. It's one of those things where it's like they're together and then something happens. They're in these bunch of different situations. 2 of them go their separate ways, and then the whole trio breaks up, and then at the end they get back together. That's exactly how it plays out. No joke. So it is kind of a bit cliched. Its pacing is kind of all over the place. It doesn't really form a cohesive narrative with all of its subplots, and nothing really had me gut-busting on the floor, choking on my own laughter. after. But I still enjoyed myself. I still laughed a lot in this movie. I like the performances in this movie. Comedies for me are a little hard to judge because you have to base it solely on the fact is it funny or did the trailers ruin all the fun for you? In the trailers, for the most part, they gave away good portions of the jokes, but luckily those scenes had more to them in the movie, and I was dying at those scenes. I'm going to give Good Boys a B-. Guys, thank you for checking out my review of Good Boys. Stay tuned for more reviews coming very soon. I will leave all my links to my social media accounts in the description below. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.